smell that? What's that smell? Do you smell that? I smell that. Like, it smells fucking delicious. It smells great. It smells fantastic. And you know what? It smells like greatness in the morning. If you ever wonder what that kind of smells like, it smells like bacon. Freshly made Canadian bacon. I don't know if that's like maybe considered ham or something, but it smells like fucking greatness in the morning. You know what I think it is? I'm pretty sure it is you right here today with us right now. Okay, so congratulations and welcome inside of the 4X Focus portion of your training. All right, so you're inside with this training is identifying your golden hours of operation. All right, so what we're gonna be doing right now is, before I actually let you jump in, I actually want to demonstrate to you one of the more important aspects and like lessons, I suppose we could say, that I've been finding that happens in my own life. Okay, so like as you read throughout the manuscript, is you realize, what I realize is that it's always a crazy perspective change to like literally do what you're doing right now, which is sitting down watching me, or maybe you're standing up, it doesn't matter, sitting down fucking watching me and like learning and observing and like working on your fucking self, on your personal development and what you're about. Like, it's always a different feeling from when you're sitting down and you're actually observing somebody teach this to you versus actually living what you do and what you speak and what you talk about, okay? So everything that I talk about to you right now, and as I described to you in the whole marketing thing, is like, I don't just fucking talk these things, I actually go out there and I do these, and I like to experience the challenges that happen in my own life, okay? So everything that you're reading are things that I've happened, that have experienced, that they're experiences that have happened to me, and that's why I share them with you, and I want you to not have to go through all of the challenges and the trials and all the trivial nonsense that happens on the day-to-day basis, even though I do encourage that you do partially go through it, because that is what is going to cause you growth, okay? So besides that, welcome again into this second half of your training, all right? So what we're going to be covering right now is something that's more effective in what high performance coaches actually talk about more, which is called the golden hour of operation. Now, what is the golden hour of operation? Okay, what is it? Like, what is this thing that sets all of these high performers, all of these self-awareness, all of these spiritual gurus, all of these managers, all of these people who really like to just create a change, who have like literally put themselves sometimes through like a storm of challenges? What sets them apart? It is this one thing. The one thing is this trial thing that they do whenever they wake up. It is their biggest challenge. It is the main thing that they do for themselves, like the number one rule for fulfillment, or that mindset that we talked about in that training. It is this one thing, and that one thing is giving back to themselves. Something that they love to do, something that maybe it's going for a walk every morning, maybe it's going to the gym every fucking day before going to work and working extremely fucking hard in your own life so you can crush it out there in life, and you can inspire others by accident. So what we're gonna actually be breaking down in this next portion of the training, or my best 4 examples that I like to use that actually have and share the same exact details. These 4 examples that you're gonna be talking about, the first one that we'll be talking about is this guy right here. Pretty sure you'll recognize him. You also see a picture pop up on this screen. This guy's name is Dwayne Johnson. He's a pretty big superstar. He's like a celebrity, whatever you wanna call it. None of that really matters, okay? We're in the next couple of moments, we're gonna be breaking it down, what he does before he goes to work at 4 a.m. in the fucking morning, before going to work, before being his own image, just highlight this similarity, this portrayed image of what society preaches him as. For him to be himself, what he does in these short hours at the gym before anything else. His one thing. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, we're gonna be breaking it down right now. Okay, welcome back. We're gonna actually get rolling. Let's get started. Okay, actually, let me just fix your face there. Am I touching your face? I hope I'm not touching your face. I think I'm touching your face. What can we do? I'm sorry. Don't mean to hurt you. All right. Cool. So before I realize right now, before I jump in, before we actually get this thing going, I realized in that last portion of the video, I didn't mention this one very key, important factor. All right. So I believe it was Napoleon Hill himself, someone who was considered basically the godfather of all personal development, maybe personal success books and coaching and all that shit, whatever you want to call it. I believe he has a quote from his book called Outwitting the Devil that goes like this, and I wanted to read it to you before we actually jump into this portion describing my best example right now, Dwayne Johnson. Okay, I'm going to read it to you right here. And if you have the manuscript with you as well, I want you to be reading it with me so that way we can grasp its power, So you can see it in your own visual time, in your own actuality, so that we can get it going, all right? So, outwitting the devil. My experience has taught me that a man is never quite so near success as when that which he calls failure has overtaken him. For it is on occasions of this sort that he is forced to think. And if he thinks accurately and with persistence, he discovers that so-called failure usually is nothing more than a signal to rearm himself with a new plan or purpose. Most real failures are due to limitations which men set up in their own minds. If they had the courage to go one step further, they would discover their error. If they had the courage to go one step further by doing this one fucking thing for themselves every day. And you're going to find out later in the training, in this training inside this whole module, what the real secret to real focus is and how you can use this along with the other little environmental factors and all of these understandings and mindset concepts, priming capabilities inside of this training, and you can put them all together. We're going to amalgamate it all together. And now I'm going to show you how you can implement it into your own life. All right. You can use all of those, and we're going to use this demonstration right behind me. All right. So, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Maybe you know him, maybe you don't know him. Celebrity, superstar, a dad of like 3 or 4, 5 kids, something like that. Big movie star, wrestler, all of that. Big fit man, Mr. I don't know if he's considered Mr. Universe or anything like that, but nonetheless, hugely high status and very influential man. Okay, that we can use, and I love using his example. All right, so the thing that we're about to be reading right now is something that I actually have in my own room. I literally have this like poster, this little piece of paper that's similar to this, like the image. That was a picture of my poster from inside of my room. And I put it on here because that is how important it is, and that has how strong his story is and how we're gonna use this to influence yourself, your handsome self. All right, cool. So let's break it down. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I'm up at 4 a.m. every day to work extremely hard before I go into work. Not because I'm batshit crazy, well, maybe a little bit, but because I know my competitors are not paying that price and sacrificing to that degree. And that will always give me the edge and anchor for an opportunity for success. Now, you don't have to get up at 4 a.m., but I encourage you to find the thing that gives you the edge over everyone else around you. And once you find it, let it be your anchor. Let it be your anchor. This is Shia LaBeouf Day. We're not even done yet, okay? Then you just created an opportunity for yourself to succeed. And that's all we really want for ourselves and what we want to do in our own lives, isn't it? To create opportunities for ourselves. Now let me ask you a question before we transition into the next portion of this video. What does that sound like we're describing right now? What does this concept, this thing that he's pursuing, not what he does for his job, but for himself, what does that sound like he's doing? Does that sound like he's working on that one thing? Pretty sure we just broke it down right now. He basically just laid it out in front of you like a fucking fat platter of sushi and said, hello, take this, this is all for you. And he's not, when I say giving it to you, this is all for you, he's giving it to himself. He's claiming this time for himself when everything else in his life is trying to steal it all away. No, he's claiming it for himself. And that is what we're doing. And we're just going to figure out what this one thing is. And we're actually going to break it down a little bit more in the training of what that one thing is and how we're going to be. Is it one thing? Not just the one thing, but like your golden hours, okay? We're going to break it down. We're going to go crazy. He knows his golden hours of operation. Let's go. All right? So that was Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Let's jump on over to Pablo Picasso, and I'll see you in there, brother. Cheers.